Top Notch family, what is going on? So, in today's video, it's going to be a spicy one. We are going to be talking about an individual team in the Eastern Conference who I believe won free agency. They have improved their roster the most, but I do think they're going to disappoint a lot of people, especially their fans and just NBA in general, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is a super team. They finally got good players on their roster." But in today's video, I explain why I don't think they will be making it to a NBA championship or possibly even the Eastern Conference Finals. But before we do reveal today's team and start today's video, if you guys enjoy NBA content, I pretty much upload every other day. And with the NBA season coming back, there's going to be so much content to talk about. So smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, drop a like, comment down. It definitely helps my channel grow, and I appreciate you guys so much. Road to 11K subs. Now, in today's video, we are going to be talking about the 76ers, why I believe they're going to disappoint a lot of people. And I'm going to have a lot of graphics on the screen explaining my reasoning. Now, I will say I want to give this team credit. This offseason, personally, in my opinion, they won free agency. They did a lot of stuff to make their team competitive, especially after losing in the first round, right? I respect an owner. I respect the GM that wants to make their team better each year. I'm a Miami Heat fan, and what we got to deal with Pat Riley and Andy, we're relying on undrafted players and our rookies. With the 76ers, they don't go that direction. They go with star talent because they know they have a generational big who won an MVP, who wants to win a championship in Joel Embiid. So you have to fill that roster with great talent. So that's what I will say. Congratulations, because I'm a little bit jealous. And I'm not jealous in the fact that because I already know where you guys are going to say, "Oh, you're just jealous. That's why you're saying the 76ers ain't going to go far." No, I'm just going after a pattern. The last 4 to 5 years, this team just hasn't competed. I'm jealous at your owner because my owner doesn't do that. That's all I'm really trying to get at. Anyways, one big knack that the 76ers, front office, or not front office, but 76ers as an organization and Joel, they always talk about Joel can't get out the second round. It don't matter how good you are. You can't get out the second round. And I bet you guys, if you're not a 76ers fan, you guys don't know the last time the 76ers got out the second round. And I'm going to show a graphic on the screen, and it's pretty crazy. So the 76ers won in the 2001 Eastern Conference Finals against the Milwaukee Bucks. So we're heading into the 2024-2025 season. The last time they made it was in the 2001. That's when I was born. Just think about that, guys. It has been a long time. So when you have a player like Joel Embiid, which you want to stay competitive, but also you realize he's dealing with a bunch of stuff, right? But not only that, he may want to leave if this team continues to lose. There's a lot of pressure on you. Now, I will go show you a graphic of what the 76ers had to deal with in the last 4 to 5 seasons and their playoff runs, because this matters a lot, right? So 2017, 2018, obviously they beat my team. And then they lost to the Celtics in the second round. Then they beat the Nets, lost to the Raptors. Then in 2019, 2020, they got swept by the Boston Celtics. So they didn't even get out the first round, right? But then next year they played the Wizards and the Hawks, but lost to the Hawks. Then they played the Raptors. Then they played the Heat, but lost to the Heat. Then they played the Nets again and lost to the Celtics. Then this year they played the Knicks and lost in 6. So it just hasn't really been a good run for the 76ers and Joel Embiid. They've been going coach to coach. They haven't had the greatest coach, and now they have Nick Nurse, which they're expecting a lot from. Now, the main reason why this team continues to lose is because of health purposes, right? And this is going to be the one reason that this team is going to be held back. Now, I'm going to show you a stat just for last year that is very important for the 76ers, right? So you guys see this right here. Don't mind the ads. It says the 76ers had a 31-8 record with Joel Embiid last season. 31-8. That's pretty much a damn near an 80% win percentage, right? You've seen the points per game, 120, rebounds per game, 44. Everything was just pretty much up. Without them, they're not even a team that's really competitive. Let's just be honest. They're 16-27. Their win percentage drops to 37, which is absolutely awful, right? And this is in a 43 game span. Their points drop damn near by 10. And this is the impact of Joel Embiid. This is what he brings to your team. The problem is Joel Embiid is hardly out there. And I'll show you that in his stats throughout his career and stuff like that. And it's super unfortunate because, like I said, I think he's a very talented player, but he just can't stay healthy. So pop it up on the screen right here. I thought I had it up, but it's all goody. So Joel Embiid, I'm right here. So sorry about that. So Joel Embiid's stats, it's good, right? Obviously, averaging 34 points a game, shooting 38% from the 3-point line, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. We don't look at the numbers particularly with Joel. We look at how many games he can play on the court. And so you see right here 39, 66, 68, 51, 51, 64, 63, 31. He played about 433 games throughout his career since 2016, 2017. That's an average of like 50 plus games a year, which typically is not the greatest because you need your team, you need your best player out there, right? And so when you don't have Joel Embiid, you see what the record is, right? 16 and 27. Last year, Joel Embiid played the lowest games amount throughout his whole career, right? Besides the 2016, 2017 17 season, right? And this team was a top seed in the Eastern Conference, and it pushed them back to a 7th seed. That's super, super unfortunate. That just shows you the importance, obviously, of Joel Embiid to the 76ers. So the one reason is Joel Embiid's health. And I'm going to show you another graphic of all the injuries that Joel Embiid has went throughout his career. And it's honestly so sad because I feel bad for him because, like I said, he's super, super talented. He's super good, and I love for him to be on the court. But as you see, so we're going to start from 2017. 2017, left knee surgery, sore knee, back tightness. Now, mind you, these are they're going to put all his injuries, but some of them is not as crazy as others. But these are just a bunch of injuries that he went through, right? Ankle, migraine, that's regular, right? Left knee soreness, ankle, back, rest, illness, left knee soreness. Then you got rest, you got load management, the knee for the last couple years, right? Infection, you got the ankle, right? Hip. I mean, the list continues to go on. Mind you, we're at 2021. Continue, right? Still at 2021. Then you got a bunch of knee injuries right here, right? And this is the reason why it's a concern for the 76ers because he's always hurt. Always. And it's a proven fact. Now we're in 2022. You see how long this list is? Now we're in 2023. His foot injury. This foot injury been holding him for a while. Look, 2022 to 2023. Now you got calf injuries. Now you got knee injuries. You got the rest. You got the hip. You got the illness. Now you're going into the 2024 year where it's knee once again. Knee, injury management. Like all this is affecting the 76ers. Mind you, that was starting from his career, but that's a lot of injuries that build up on a player like Joel Embiid, which he's clumsy. I'm going to be honest with you. The dude is always falling on the floor, which for a player like him, 7 feet, you keep falling on the floor, you are going to get injured. So the truth reality is that Joel Embiid just can't stay healthy, and I don't think it's ever going to change. It sucks. It really does suck, but it's his body. I don't think it can handle that, and I think that's why you go after a player like PG. But another reason why when you sign a player like PG, he's also my second reason why I don't think this team will go far is that he's not a great playoff performer, and I will show you that. So when you look at Paul George's stats right here, and a lot of people are excited about him, a lot of people weren't excited about him. But look at it. So this is for the Clippers last year. He played 74 games, which he was fairly healthy, and I give him respect for that, right? 47% from the field, 41% from the 3-point line, 90%. So it was a really good season for him, right? 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.5 steals, average about 22 points a game. But my problem is when it comes to Paul George is the postseason, right? No Kawhi Leonard, he was the number one guy. He struggled. So in regular season, he shot 47% to 41%. His 3-point percentage dropped. His free throw percentage dropped. His rebounds did go up and his assists did go up. But if you notice, his turnovers did go up, more personal fouls, and averaged about 19.5 points and was struggling against players like PJ Washington. That's a huge concern. So if you don't have Joel Embiid out there, you're relying on players like Tyrese Maxey and Paul George, but Paul George is not known as a really good postseason performer. I mean, outside of one game he had, and that's the game they won, he had 33 points. But look at this. In a playoff game, 7 points. I get it. It's an upgrade over Tobias Harris, but you can't play a player this much money to put up 7 points. And then he had 22 points right here. He had 18 points. He had 15 points. But look at the field goal percentage. They're inefficient. 33% from the field. 30. That was the big game, right? 27 and 50. 3-point percentage, 20%, 33%, 16%, and 40%. He struggled throughout this playoffs. And that's very concerning for a player that just got paid that much money, right? And now, this is just not last year. This is throughout Paul George's career, which I will show you more details of backing up what Paul George has done throughout his career and stuff like that. So right here, Paul George playoff career stats. So you can kind of go back in a day where you got the Indiana Pacers, but we're not going to do that, right? We're just going to start off with the Oklahoma City Thunder days, right? I know you guys remember him struggling against the Utah Jazz, right? I know you do. Just look at his numbers. So OKC days, he played there for two years, right? I mean, these are just his numbers right here. It's not that great. I mean, 41 minutes, 43 minutes. I mean, he's gonna get the minutes. His numbers look good and cool, but it's about the field goal percentage. Look at this. Like it's bad. It's not the greatest. So, and especially with the Clippers, he just couldn't stay healthy. He's just not known as, they call him Pandemic P. And this is not me disrespecting Paul George, but it is what it is when it comes to him. So those are kind of my big concerns when it comes to PG and Joel Embiid. One, you do got to worry about Paul George not being healthy, right? Because there's times where he's not healthy. But last year he was the most healthiest, so that was good, right? But then you got to worry about his playoff performances where he tend to struggle. He does have some big moments, but he does tend to struggle. Joel just needs to stay healthy. So you got two players that are injury risk. But then when you look at the 76ers roster, I do think it's a solid roster, right? You got Joel Embiid, you got Ricky Council, Jerry McCain, you got Maxey, Oubre, Drummond. I do think they improve. You got players like Caleb Martin. I do think they improve, but I think they are lacking a power forward position right there. So with the injury concern of Joel, injury concern of Paul George, and his postseason performance is concerning, lack of power forward positions, and just some teams better in the Eastern Conference, right? I do think the Celtics may be better than the 76ers, of course. They're the defending champs. You still have to worry about the Knicks. You still got to worry about the Miami Heat, no matter who's on that roster. And if these players are not healthy, they're going to struggle. So those are kind of my things. And I'll real quick to show you what they got to worry about, right? I think they could be better than the Pacers. I think they can be better than the Magic and the Cavaliers. But also, don't forget about the Bucks. I think a Bucks 76ers matchup will be tough. I think a Knicks 76ers matchup will be tough, right? Of course, a Celtics 76ers matchup will be tough. So it really depends on if Paul George steps up. It really depends if Joel Embiid is healthy. And it really depends if the 76ers depth is enough to compete in the playoffs. So those are my concerns. And also, lastly, Nick Nurse has a tendency of playing his players very, very long. Like, he doesn't take his players off the court, so they do get gassed out really, really quick. So those are my couple concerns about the 76ers. I am excited to watch them play. Hopefully they can prove me wrong. But let me know what you guys think and follow for more. Peace.